Howdy y'all, I'm Toby, I'm Heather's husband, and this is something we've been promising to do for a number of weeks now, is to take you on a little tour of our small garden. Now we live in an apartment complex here in Maine, so two things. The manager was nice enough to let me dig up some dirt to make a regular garden this year, which hasn't happened in the 5 years I've lived here, so that's all good. And another thing is the short growing season we have up here, because you really can't put anything into the ground until at least Memorial Day, and probably the week after that's even better. But you can start things in your home, which I've done with some of these plants, and just let them grow a little bit and then put them in the dirt out here in the yard. So this is something I love to do. This is my second favorite recreational activity other than fishing. And I just love to come out here every day and just look at how much things have grown. And in just a minute you'll see some things you'll go, whoa. So it's really kind of a cool deal. Let's walk back this way to the other end of the garden. We'll start with the uphill side first. For some reason, things are growing a little bit slower on this side of the garden. So that's something I'll consider next year if they let me do this again back here. I'll just move everything down probably about 6 feet toward the bottom of a little hill we're standing on here. Got tomatoes. I believe these are beefsteak tomatoes, and we also have some Roma at the other end. So I just want to come in here and show you a couple of these. They're not doing great, but they're doing pretty good. You can see a little bunch off in there. They're going to make some nice sandwich tomatoes. So we got those for 5 or 6 plants down this way. Got a little pinto bean action going on right here, and they're almost flowering. So in a couple of weeks we ought to have some beans we can cook up, and maybe I can rub Heather's tummy and she'll make me some cornbread too. Kind of like a cat. Yeah, good luck with that, huh? Yeah, but these beefsteak tomatoes, I didn't have any tomato cages to put them on or anything, so they're just kind of doing what tomatoes do when they're not supported, and I really don't mind that because it really doesn't hurt a heck of a lot. It just makes it hard to find the tomatoes sometimes. Now I'm going to reach off in here in the middle of the garden and just show you a little patch of some of the nicer ones that we have so far this year. You can see this one down here in my left hand. Boy, that's going to make a nice sandwich or salad, or probably, knowing Heather, spaghetti sauce, which is a-okay by me. And you can see off, I can't step over that other side, but you can see at the end of my point right there, got 2 nice green bell peppers going. And that's one thing I'm a little bit disappointed this year. The peppers are usually the ones that go crazy, and the tomatoes have a bit of a tough time. But this year's just the opposite. But the peppers are starting to kick in real good, and we're going to have a ton of those to do all kinds of stuff with pico de gallo, salsa, anything. I'll eat a pepper on anything pretty much, even ice cream. It wouldn't bother me much. And of course you can see in the middle here the corn I started later on. I only started it about 6 weeks ago, so it's doing pretty good, and it's getting to the point now where the little wheat looking thing is going to shoot through the top of the corn, and thereby producing some corn on the cob, which we will enjoy to the max because all of our family loves that. Now Heather, if you'll just ease back down this way a little bit, take a look at the cucumbers we got going on. Now cucumbers take a little while up here, so we're just kind of getting to where the flowers are coming out and the fruit's starting to set. But you can look down through here, you can hardly see anything except a few flowers because everything's so crowded. But we just kind of had to do what we had. Whoops, flower just fell off. What we had to do over there, look back in there, you see flowers everywhere. And of course, everywhere there's a flower, there's going to be a pickle. Look at all that. That's beautiful. Man, these things are coming around very nicely. So in 2 or 3 weeks, we ought to have enough pickles to rival Heinz. All right, now this is some zucchini I planted a little bit later. I planted this about a month later than I did the first set, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But this is what I wanted you to see about this garden. Fortunately, where we live, the dirt is really good for about 6 or 8 inches, then it turns into clay. So that's why I was glad we were able to till this year instead of doing all that stuff by hand, because it's so back-breaking, and I have arthritis in my back and so on and so forth. So the tiller was a nice touch, and I'd like to thank my buddy Shane, my next-door neighbor, for that. Anyway, let's take a quick look at everything else. Look under here. Even Heather was surprised at this. Let's find this thing. Look at here, Heather. Look at that. That big old zucchini. There's only one place for that, baby. And that is in the kitchen. Look at that zucchini. Look how big and fat that is. I'll give you a head-on look at it. And look at that big bad boy. So I'm just going to set it down here because we have a couple of more to pick as well. And if you look back in there, you'll find some smaller zucchinis as well. So, but we won't go into all that. Look at here. Now this looks like a Louisville slugger. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this big bad mamma jamma. Okay, we're going to break it off. Oh, that was ripe. That's another big one. Lay it down. It's bigger than the other one by, oh, at least a couple of inches. So that's pretty cool. And I started this later than I did the other stuff. That's what's so cool about it being so big. And I think we have one more large one in here somewhere. Yes, we do. Right down here. Look at this one, boy. This one is fat. Man alive. I'm like a fat kid in an ice cream shop right now. Look at all those. That's just 3 zucchinis, which Heather can use for any number of meals that she makes. Just go back through her video library and you can find some stuff with zucchini in it, I guarantee. So let me lay these back over. I got a couple of little zucchinis going here. More zucchini here, and this one just got, it's kind of the runt of the litter, but it'll be my last one to go and probably be the sweetest of it all. And then look back in here, and you can see all these Roma tomatoes. I know that's tomato sauce, I meant spaghetti sauce right there. So that's just a, part of what we can show you here, because everything's still kind of in the process of ripening. And look at this little guy here. He's just so heavy it's falling over. You see a batch. Look at this big bad Roma tomato right here. That thing's as wide as my hand. Very nice. Skipping on down. Now this is my pride and joy. I've never grown this before. This is a tomatillo plant, which those of you not familiar with Mexican food, this is what they make green sauces out of and stuff. Just a little bitty tomato that comes in a husk, almost like corn. And you can see the little ones coming right here. Here's a nice little one right here. And we're supposed to get 12 pounds out of this, and I'm guessing we'll probably get 15 pounds. And they're only golf ball size, so you can imagine how many of those things we're going to have. More zucchini. This is the first batch of zucchini I planted. We've gotten a bunch off it, and it's still producing more. As you can see right here, there's 4. 1 down here, 1 here, 2 here. There's 4 more right there. Got more zucchini here. And these, just for some reason, ain't growing as fast as the others, but they're making nice fruit. It's a different model, if you will, of zucchini. You can tell the difference in the leaves on the plants. Look at that big one right there. We might as well get that one too, Heather. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that was ready. Look at that. Looks like a big pickle. So we'll keep that. Unfortunately, we're not doing great on peppers, even though I do have about a dozen of them inside. Nice little jalapeno there. Make your gizzard warm. Got some banana peppers down here. That one's ripe enough to pick, but I'll get that later. There's a big banana pepper down there. And this little bitty plant, it's been fighting forever, and it's got a ripe one on it. I'm just going to grab it. So, let me do that real quick. When it pops off that easy, it's ripe. My neighbor, Shane, and his woman, Iris, planted this, and they've got beans and zucchini and stuff as well. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick tour of the garden. We've been awful proud of it, and very thankful that our management here at our apartment complex let us do this. And next year, this is my first year to do it away from the house, as it were. So next year we will have learned. It's about 30 feet long, about 8 feet wide, and we're going to move it down just about 6 feet to about where I'm standing right now, and we'll let it go down the little hill there so it'll drain nicely and all that. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed the little tour of our small garden here. Can't wait to get a home where I could plant about a ½ acre, and I'll be sending you all my homemade pico de gallo. Texas style, Maine style, my style. Catch you next time. Adios, y'all. Back to picking.